up above. Say, come on, Brittany, you got to come on now.
So welcome to In My Own Words with Brittany Isley of Motherhood Wine and of Adventures in Vino Land. And I want to kind of start this segment today to talk about what I posted last night. So I posted on Instagram this bad boy right here. So if you can't read that, it says, cancel your plans to settle for anything less than the dream. That post was last night, was a reminder for me to stay on track with things that I wanted to do all along with this platform and to keep integrating that. So I want to talk about the dream, but more importantly, I want to tell you my story and what I've done in the last year and a half and sort of the steps that I took to do that. So there's about 3 things that it took to get me from complete, deep, dark, debilitating depression to now. So I'm going to tell you 3 things about how I turned my life around. Number 1, therapy. Everyone has a different opinion about therapy. Everybody has a different story to tell about therapy. I went to a therapist after fighting it for a really long time and just went one-on-one and basically broke down my walls, all my pain, all my suffering, my demons, my past, my childhood, my family, like literally every aspect of my life, everything that I've lived through, everything that I've been through, and was diagnosed with anxiety and depression. And then also the most surprising, I guess, for me was postpartum depression. Not surprising to other people in my life, but definitely surprising to me. Because I thought that postpartum depression had one face, and it was that you didn't like your children and that you didn't want anything to do with your children. When we talked a little bit about my version of it, more like a guilt and disengaging from my life because I felt like I couldn't be 2 people, that I had to be one or the other, and that's either working and having a career or being a mom. And I wasn't actually in a job that was allowing me to be both, and it wasn't actually embracing me to be both. It was like, oh yeah, you're a mom and we totally get that and we respect that. If you're not here 24/7, like, because you have to be there with your kid or your kid's sick, like they're seeing that as excuses and weakness. Instead of saying like, I need to choose my family and be here for my child, I was like, oh, financially, like I don't have a choice. I have to choose my career right now. So in the most vulnerable stages of my son's life, like I had to leave and go work. And that happens every single day, all the time. Moms should be able to be moms and also have a life and have the life that they had before they became a mom and not feel guilty about it. So anyways, we'll have a whole episode about that probably, long story short. Anyways, and so when I kind of stopped out of that and came to, if you will, it was like this deep depression of like, I made the wrong decision and I made the wrong choices and I'm never gonna get that time back. I know that I'm not perfect. I know that I've made mistakes and that's okay. And because I own who I am, I have so much more power over myself and my own life because I'm not listening anymore to the outside influences and I'm not giving power to people who don't deserve power over me. That's a huge thing. Self-confidence and boundaries. So this kind of goes within like what I learned in therapy, but self-confidence and boundaries will elevate you. So if you're setting boundaries for your life and saying like, I only want to surround myself with people who believe in me, that's a huge step because so often we settle for people who we can't trust or that don't have our best interest, or we've had bad negative experiences with where they haven't apologized for who they are, they don't apologize for how they treat you, and it's sort of that like level of insanity. Like we're doing the same things over and over again by hanging out with these same people and expecting different results, but we're not getting different results because they're the same people. We're not making our exit when we need to. So there's a level of that's super important, that you have to really draw a line in the sand and say like, hey, this is not a healthy relationship. This is not a healthy lifestyle for me, and it's not fueling my good energy that I need in order to elevate myself and elevate my career, elevate whatever it is that my dream is. If they're not there to believe in your dream with you and to be a support system, then they gotta go. And then ultimately, once you've done that, you're giving yourself that self-confidence back, because you're telling yourself that you are worth putting those lines in the sand and drawing those boundaries. And once you've done that, you're already halfway there, because you now have the self-confidence to take the third thing is to take the step. So the third thing on the list is I took the step. I got out of my own way. I got my self-confidence back. I drew my boundaries. I said goodbye to all my demons and all the things that were really like weighing me down every day. And so yeah, I took that step. I took the step in saying like, I'm worth a better life. I'm worth being home with my kiddo in the other room where I can see him. I'm worth having freedom. I'm worth running my own business. I'm worth, doing the things that I always wanted to do. I'm worth the time and the energy to put into myself and not to someone else's dream or someone else's goals and someone else's livelihood. I want my own livelihood to be up here. Yeah, I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott, The Office, anybody. Anyway. So use the idea of being afraid to help fuel the fire that's inside of you. It's really scary to take the step. It's scary to say that, I'm not going to work that 9-to-5 job anymore. I'm going to be on my own. I'm going to go out into the world on my own. It's like, you got to breathe and just like, you got to have that confidence, because if you don't have it, you're not going to go very far. You got to keep telling yourself that you are capable and that you can do it. I remember before I started doing my business, doing any of this, I was sitting in my friend's kitchen and saying like, I can't do it, I'm not good enough. Like I was told so many times that I had all these things that I wasn't doing right, and I listened to them and I believed them for so long, and I let them hold me back and keep me in a box. And they said, what do you have to lose by taking this step forward in your business, in your whole business channel here that you want to do? What do you have to lose? It costs no money to start blogging. It costs no money to take pictures. What? So once I kind of put the idea in my head of like how easy it could be to just do it, I wrote a blog. It's still on my blog right now. And literally within like a week, I got an email from a guy in the industry who wanted to send me some clients, and it was like divine intervention, or like the universe was coming together for me, and everything, like, it just worked. None of that would have happened if I didn't do all these steps to get to the point of like putting myself back out there. So I had to get through all my stuff, all my shit. The fourth thing here is to own your goal. So what's your main goal overall? What's your big dream? And you gotta hone in on that. So you gotta decide, like, this is where I wanna be, and then we gotta build those blocks, those steps to walk yourself up to that dream. So I have this dream of becoming an author, having a book, and being like Rachel Hollis, and having my blog, and having my lifestyle, and having this channel, this outlet, because really what I want to do is tell my story, and I want to help people, and I want to bring these things to life in this way and in this platform. As far as my blog, like, I sort of want to do the same thing for myself. Like, I want to tell my own story in a profound way and help people in that way. So it's, but yeah, I can't get to this without doing this and without making these steps in the right direction. And that means doing these things that I'm talking about. I did the therapy, I did the self-confidence and the boundaries with my friendships, with my life, my family. I took the step. I had the confidence in myself to say, like, I'm gonna just go ahead and try this. And I'm owning my goals. Like, I'm very self-aware of who I am and what I'm doing, and so I know, like, I'm posting these videos about whatever products all the time, and I'm like, I know that that's not my end goal. That's not fulfilling. For every video that I'm posting about something that you should get, I want to post something that is going to fulfill you internally, that costs no money whatsoever. There's no swipe up action that's going to make you try to buy into something. I really want you to buy into yourselves. So hopefully this helps. This is sort of that balance that I've been looking for all along. I will say that in order to get to this point, I've had to grow a thick skin, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of stress financially, a lot of arguing with my husband over content and making time for it. You know, there's a lot that goes into posting a photo and having an aesthetic and having a brand and whatever it is. It's a lot of, for me, it's a lot of changing my mind all the time and not really settling on just one thing. You just have to take the time to figure out what it is that you want to do and then just start doing. I mean, I'm a nobody from nowhere, and I figured it out. I figured it out in a year. I figured it out completely on my own. I didn't have anyone in my corner being like, hey, do this thing and do this thing. I found a community of women online on this platform, and I have some really great friends who I've never actually met in person, who I talk to all the time on Instagram. You're getting a community that you didn't even really realize you needed. So, staying in your lane and staying focused. I also wrote about that Jonathan Van Ness comes in my head every now and then, and he's like, stay in your lane, honey, because I get so off track and I compare myself to these other women all the time who are just like perfect and in shape and amazing and doing all the things, and they have amazing houses and whatever. It's like, I look around and I'm like, I have all the tools, all the things, all of that. I already have a lot of it. Why do I care about so-and-so or what they're doing? It's like, love them, support them, appreciate them for who they are, gain inspiration, but don't compare. I don't need to be that person when I'm already me. I have all these other things that I can offer to people. I don't need to try to be them or outdo them or compare myself to them. So that's a huge part of it, is just stay in your lane, keep your head down, stay focused, and keep that natural energy and that natural progression going towards your goals, and don't lose sight of what that goal is. If someone goes low, someone wants to hit you below the belt, someone wants to talk shit about you or be rude or be one way, I'll never forget, I heard a story of these girls saying that I was crazy, and people that I thought were my friends, and talking smack behind my back, and it was because I posted a couple photos and talked about postpartum depression, and I was posting selfies. Oh my God forbid you post a selfie on Instagram. And that really bothered me for a long time, but instead of keeping me down, and all it did was fuel my fire and my energy and my positivity for saying, like, whatever, call me crazy for doing this, call me crazy for posting this video right now, but I don't care anymore, because I'm not giving people power over me and over my emotions that don't deserve it. So bottom line is, they go low, we go high. Thank you, Michelle Obama. But seriously, leave them down there while you're rising up to this point where you belong. If people want to hate on you, they have things that they need to figure out for themselves. We should never let people have so much power over us. That's the biggest thing to take away from all of this. So, with that, feels good to finally get this version of this video done. I've probably done like 5 versions of this, and I haven't posted it because I don't know. What fuels this is having encouragement and feedback. So if I get enough feedback that you guys love this kind of stuff and you want more of this kind of stuff, then I'll keep doing it. So with that, I'm gonna sign off and say goodbye, and thank you for watching if you watched, and I'll see you next time.